they will be sorted out, so they wouldn't have to wait a lot of time in the unit. We also try to look at the complexity of cases that come to the department, and we realize that the pediatric units have a 38% of complex cases that come to the unit. In the year 2023, they had 29 complex cases. Malaria treatment had 26 complex cases, and then fertility care had 21 complex cases. So, in as much as the pediatric unit doesn't have pediatricians or specialists or doctors, they have a lot of complex cases coming into the department. And this will cause a lot of complaints because they don't have specialists to take care of the complex cases. It's just nurses and physician assistants. So here we look at the months with the highest complex cases and the recovery rates. So May had the highest complex recovery rate as compared to the others, followed by April and then January. We also try to look at their budget allocation for the various um, the various we also try to look at their budget allocation and realize that for personnel costs in 2023, they allocated 6K to pediatric, which is lower than the other units, and then it increased in 2024. Also, for contingency fund, the allocation for pediatrics is very low as compared to the other units. For medical equipment and supplies, which were complained by the patients, they allocated smaller amounts of money to the pediatric unit in 2023. Operational costs, the pediatric unit allocation was very small as compared to the other units. Also, for research and development, pediatric units also saw a significant increase in 2024, but it was a bit low in 2023. Technology and software also saw the same. Marketing and outreach, pediatric units had a lesser but was significantly higher than malaria treatment. And also for infrastructure and maintenance, pediatric units had a higher allocation in 2023, but in 2024, they reduced their allocation for pediatric units. Thank you.
Okay, so questions. So I'll go. So when I looked at the data, I saw that wait time for the pediatric department, people were waiting. However, the data for satisfaction was not much affected because there were low complaints. That's what I saw from the data.
Okay.
So do you think that wait time was still a problem? If yes, why or why not? Do you think that wait time is a problem even though the number of complaints was low for the pediatric department?
From the data that we were given, the number of complaints for pediatric units wasn't low. It was really high. And then I think we have a graph to show that.
I doubt it's working. I think check this side. There's one.
So the red line is the number of complaints for the various units. So you realize that pediatric has a higher number of complaints as compared to the other units. For the data we have, or we were given.
Thank you.
Okay, so you all keep saying the data is wrong. So did you ensure the accuracy and reliability of the data that you were given?
Thank you very much. So I think we are in consultancy, and then we were being tasked by the hospital to analyze their data. So we need to
That is their problem.
we are going to have a run of the credibility, I think, would be ensured.
Okay, so she's my question asking partner. So I'll take it over from here. Um, in analytics pipeline, what are the first two key tasks that you have to do in order to drive actionable insight? Is it in line with the question? I should repeat the question.
Data pre-processing.
Data pre-processing. Okay. Two key activities. Okay, so now we are in data pre-processing. We ask the question. The question that relates to data pre-processing. In data pre-processing stage, what measures did you ensure or did you put in place to ensure that the data that they give to you is accurate, has no missing values, represent what the problem we are talking about is?
So we actually did data processing. We checked the data to be sure that there were no missing data.
Evidence. What software did you use? What software did you use for all your analysis?
So for the data, we use Python to do the ETL, the data processing. But the questions he asked, for instance, how we get understanding we got from the question of that. Assuming maybe the hospital gives us data. Maybe
No, what did you use to check the accuracy of it? Simple. In your data pre-processing stage, what measures do you put in place to assess the accuracy and the reliability of the data?
Okay, so the initial stage when the data was given to us, we realized some discrepancies. So we requested for additional data.
What we don't want some.
Okay, so
Specific
the data
discrepancies.
wasn't accurate, and there was no relationship and correlation. It's like they are saying there is a decline in there's a decline in. Okay, so for instance, they said the doctor. So from the first data here, we realized that after the doctor experienced the pediatric is 9 years. But we have after the experience they don't have doctors from the data they give us. There was no doctor.
Okay. I think that one you showed us
Yes.
the evidence of that. Okay, which library in Python did you use for your ETL? Because you said you use Python, right? I asked you of the two for your pre-processing. You said Python. Which library?
NumPy and Py.
This dog has answered, you step back like it. So you like me.
NumPy and Py.
Okay. Help me. Okay. Yes, one sentence. You said you decided to go behind the problem that was presented to you, right? Look, in your presentation, you said you decided to dig deeper, to go behind the real issues, instead of just relying on what was presented to you. And what do you mean?
So we requested for the additional data.
What did you do?
So we found out that their staff category one, the number of staff in the pediatric, they don't have doctors for specialists. They only have local physician assistants. And then nurses.
But he's presented
And
already.
then also.
But they presented already.
We wanted to know what the patients were
So
complaining
that is the
about.
reason why the unit is experiencing a decline.
That's one.
But the unit is experiencing a decline.
From the data that was given us, yes.
And the reason is that the physician assistants.
They don't have doctors, they don't have specialists, they have nurses, and then they have local doctors, 5.
Local doctors are not doctors.
They are physician assistants, local.
No. You can have a medical doctor who is a specialist who is a local.
From the data, it's physician assistants.
Who are doing the local?
Yes.
Thank you.
Sorry, very quick one. So, you take a look at the departmental resource allocation plan. What conclusions do you draw from that? Departmental resource allocation plan. What conclusions?
Okay, so we realized that, for instance, the medical equipment, patients were complaining of lack of equipment in the pediatric unit. So ideally, last 2023, the data were working on 2023. So they allocated lesser amount to medical equipment. But in 2024, they increased the amount. So that is one. And then for
We are referring to the departmental resource allocation file. Unless we have different files for departmental resource allocation. Did you see that file? Okay. You are not privy to it. All right. Because, Prof, there's a file in the past that says. Okay. All right. So you didn't look at it because in there could be a potential causal factor of the challenges of the department. And to your statement that the customers complained about medical equipment, that's not the truth. Because when you look at the complaint and feedback file, medical equipment is the only place where pediatrics scored a positive. Your Python library did not help. Thank you. Thank you.
Innovation Growth Partners.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, judges. Hope you all doing well. And so, my name is Kudu Chetina. I'm managing partner for Innovation Group Partners. We are a company founded in the heart of 2019 with the main aim of policy for the various working. We do have a diverse team that are made up of financial analysts, healthcare practitioners, individuals that are related in various spaces. So, as a company, these are some of our accomplishments. So, in 2019, we did start the company with 10 optimized operations. In 2021, we expanded our base of our client base of about 25 plus businesses, achieving a 19.4% in the revenue of their clients. In 2020, we became a trusted partner for about 40 plus businesses with some 44.4% growth in average client revenue. We hope to achieve some form of global leadership within the consultancy business, targeting 200 plus clients, reaching about plus, adding some form of 60.55% growth in terms of revenue for these clients. So, one might ask, what is our vision? What's our mission? And so, our vision is to be the go-to consultancy that helps communities transform their innovative strategies for outstanding results. Our mission, or how we hope to achieve this, is to offer expert innovative solutions that help us adapt, optimize results, and improve capabilities in a changing environment. So I'll leave this aspect to my colleague, yes, who is the project manager for this particular project.
Good evening. My name is Ted, and I'll take us through our objectives, and then we'll go through some of the details we have. But before I do that, it's important to understand that this exercise is a real life scenario that we have, and therefore the objective is to prepare actual workable solutions. It's just not about showing all the visuals. It's very important. So our objective is to unearth the factors responsible for the decline beyond the stated facts. Right? So what we did as a group was that we looked at the strategies that would aid in bringing to bear the very issues that really bedevils the hospital. Beyond what the hospital already knows, we took that as our preoccupation to bring out the specific issues. Now, we sort of anticipated that a lot of other competitors were going to go down the spiral of trying to show so many visuals and a whole lot of things that really do not speak to the facts, and that we have to say very emphatically. Because of this, we devised a strategy to address the issue. Okay, so we are proposing workable solutions strategies that ensure that they also do have sustainability. Okay, we are exploring reasons. We are saying that based on what we discovered, the issues are more subjective than they are quantitative. Okay, so when you look at we did a SWOT analysis, and the SWOT analysis was to bring out the issues, the strength of the hospital, the weaknesses, the threats and opportunities. For example, we said that they have a very good they have a very good strategic orientation, which means that they the other side and then jump straight to the weakness. We realized that the hospital really is bereft of standard operating procedures, and that's because in the field you realize that things were done arbitrarily and in an ad hoc manner. So we also realized that the hospital has a deficit in strategic management. In as much as it is a hospital that is offering service, it is a business entity which needs to have strategies and needs to look at the external environment in terms of competition and then build up competitive strategies to stay on top of the. So what we did was that we attempted to highlight things. They also have issues with troubleshooting. There's and you'll see when we go down into detail. So these are some of the weaknesses we identified, and then also realized that there's a poor fiscal culture where they just misappropriated funds. That is from the problem. All right, so threats. There's a threat of loss of brand, negative perception, high attrition rates that can also affect them in terms of employee turnover. Opportunities, we have reallocation of funds since the other have been sustained. Then, of course, the funds that were erstwhile fertility department and malaria could now be reallocated. Also, have opportunity to grow. So that's one of the opportunities they have. It brings a fresh perspective to the business, and then it gives customers or clients confidence, reposes confidence in clients because they believe that some corrective action has been implemented. All right, I will just forward and talk about this. Okay. Now, we saw that there was a lot of correlation, heat map drawn and all that. There's so much attempt to try and make the data see what it doesn't see. Okay. Now, when you look at this data, you realize that in terms of correlation, all the data points, that's employee turnout and all the other things that you see, you realize that the correlation indexes are quite low. You have the highest, I think the highest about positive 0.4 correlation. And so it tells you that, and that is actually with the malaria treatment, number of staff on duty, and the number of complaints. That's the only instance where you see somewhat of a high correlation. It tells us one particular thing. It points us to the fact that the bulk of the problems that bedevils a hospital, not really what the data that we have is saying. And also it speaks to the fact that what the narrative has been from the hospital is not in tandem with the data, right? So we need to understand that if there's a 0.2 positive or negative correlation, it speaks to the fact that 80% plus of the problems are out. Okay, it's very important. 80% of the problems are outside of the data, which is very important for us to take. 60% of the data in the case of malaria treatment is out of it. So the question is, what really is the issue of this hospital? Because the data does not, in the face of the data, there's no evidence. So it's very that these are the issues that the hospital has. What then could be the issues? This will then be the issue. The issues we found out are that the more subjective issues, more qualitative issues. And then the mistake a lot of strategies and data analysts do is that they think that every problem must be solved quantitatively. That's not right. Not every problem is a quantitative approach. Okay, problems that need qualitative approach. And that's very important because, like I said, the data doesn't really speak to all the claims that most of us have applied. So we realize that what the hospital needs to look at, I'm going to go back to our SWOT analysis. The hospital really needs to look at the feedback loops, and they need to really reinforce their management. Very important because we say that there are instances of low turnout and then it's affecting this, but when we do the correlation, we realize that it really doesn't have much information. Okay. Yeah, sure. That's fine. Questions?
Okay, so you know, as a consultant, credibility is very key. Right. Now, 2023 said became a trusted partner for 40 plus businesses with 44 growth, an average client totaling $10 million through innovative solutions. Any evidence? You have evidence. Okay, can you prove? This is not in the data. This is our personal organizational information. But yes, I mean we have facts. I'm a project manager, and rest of my colleagues are project managers. We have over the years worked on big projects. For example, there's a project we worked for Ika Energy, and that was a subsea project. And so we actually exhumed Christmas tree oil drilling equipment has been under siege for 7 years, and they were actually brought out to be, corrosion controlled and then reinstalled. So we've worked across multiple industries. We have very big projects that we work on. So we have the evidence. We can provide the evidence thereafter if you want.
Okay, thank you. So you have been consulted by a firm with specific issues, right?
Yes.
What was the issue?
Second.
You were consulted.
Yes.
To help find solutions
Yes.
to some challenges that the firm is facing.
Yes.
What were the issues?
So number one, the issues were that there was a low decline, or there's a low turnout in the pediatric department. The pediatric department wasn't doing as well as it used to, and so the perceived decline.
So there's a perceived decline.
Yes.
That is the issue.
Yes.
And you were given a certain data.
Yes.
Why did they give you the data? What for?
Yes. So the data is supposed to have some information that we're going to use. And I want to say that particularly that the fact that data has been provided.
No, spare me there. Why were you given the data?
Yes, to look at the data to see if it has what the claims, the support.
I'm not sure they told you that data has the problem, because if they knew, they wouldn't even consult you.
Yes.
So what is this claim you keep referring to, that the data you were given does not contain anything about their problem? In fact, in one of them it said, based on, and I'll come to the analysis,
Yes.
that based on your correlation, 80% of the issues are outside the domain of the data.
Yes.
Taking them. I'm sure you understand what correlation analysis is.
Yes.
What is it?
Correlation analysis is to tell what the relationship is. That is, if two sets of variables have a relationship where the increase in one affects the other, or vice versa.
Okay, so this is supposed to be a correlation analysis. Yes. Look at the variables you have on the left side.
Right.
Are they the ones you correlated with the right side?
Come again.
Come again is a very strong word. Be careful with this. It's not too lightly. Come again.
Okay.
Look at your left side. Okay. You seem to have, and your slides are very offensive to my eye.
Oh, so sorry.
I can't see anything. A consultant doing how to be. Okay. Pay attention.
Show the correlation
Between what
the salient points, like for example, for the number of staff on duty, the pediatric, so the satisfactory patient satisfaction, sorry, and then the doctor experience.
Is it my understanding you picked some 4 things you that salient down? You are now correlating them with them. You have 4 variables here.
Yeah.
because this is more or less informing or misinforming you about the fact that 80% of the hospital challenges, perceived challenges, are outside the data people have spoken, which I disagree anyway. So you have to convince me. Explain to me what this analysis is, because I don't understand. Because for a typical correlation analysis that exists, yes, you seem to have so many things on one side, and for I don't know. That's why I want to understand it before. Yeah, sure.
So please, when you look at the graph, what you realize is that the
Is it a graph? He said it's a correlation.
Correlation matrix. So the first four parts, first four rows refers to the fertility department. The second four rows refers to the malaria, and the third refers to the orthopedics. That's why you see the ones that
So,
way.
consultant, see presentation. Which kind of correlation analysis presentation is this? I should say, now that we are on the same of the problem is outside the data.
Okay.
That particular side, what you said, it's because that is what distinguishes your work from the other consultants
Yes.
that we have engaged. You told us they done more or less focus work.
Maybe.
Good. So
Yeah.
let's go to it. 80% of what is outside, which
Now,
how are you referring?
So, no. Which variable?
Yeah, well, you
That is not to say that for all the data, it's 80%. I'm saying that, for example, when you take the case of, let me say, when you take the malaria treatment, we have 0.2, right? 0.2, 0.228%, or 20%. We can translate it as 20%. The correlation is between malaria treatment and this number of staff on duty.
Okay.
Yes, and in that instance, what we are saying is that the correlation is very low between that.
I want to know the basis for the 80%.
Yes,
The correlation is low.
Yes.
The implication that the
Yes.
relationship is not that strong.
Yes.
Isn't it?
Then the inverse would invariably mean that,
No, it don't mean that.
unless of course we don't understand what correlation, we don't understand what correlation.
Unless I
is.
don't understand.
I'm saying unless we don't understand, because so I'll,
Now, if you think that the correlation between two variables is just about 20%,
yes,
then it means 80% of the problem is outside the data.
For starters, our values are never even mentioned in percentage. So I don't even know why you are.
yes, it's the reason why I said 0.2, but then when he asked for more,
No, you
clarity,
said 80%.
No,
In your presentation.
what I'm saying is this: when we say 0.2, it could be expressed as 20%.
Yes. So then don't run away from the percentage.
No,
My
no problem.
point
But
is
if you say it's 20%,
it's a consultant.
yes,
Doesn't mean that if the extent of correlation is 0.2, is the inference being proposed was that then 80% of the problem is outside because of
80% of the data, or 80% of the implication. Let me say 80% of the implication is not what we are seeing. I don't know if you're getting my point.
No, I'm not getting the point.
It's 20%. Yes, it's 20%. It's 0.2.
The values are just measuring the strength of the relationship.
Yes.
Where from that influence that if it is the other time it is high, it is low. Where from that influence that because it is 0.2, then 80% is outside the data.
Okay, let's think of it this way. If the strength is weak, it's at a 20%, it has a strength of 20%, then it means that 80% of the strength is not within the comparison. I don't think it's right.
No, it is not right.
Then we'll need clarity on that. Please help us if you could. We'll need clarity on that, because if the strength of, based on understanding, if the strength of something, the strength that exists between, if the strength of a particular relationship is 20%,
So
perhaps to be
let me just advise you. The reason why a researcher will even go beyond correlation and run regression, the correlation just gives an indication that there could be relationship. Nobody will. Don't even say anything. I perform analysis between two variables, correlation, and they were correlated. And on that strength, you are even implying that one
Say no.
influences the other. It
I don't
ought to be
want.
tested usually with a regression analysis.
Obviously. So your conclusion, you can't make that conclusion at that stage.
Stand there.
You want.
Right, so what we intend to communicate is that we were looking at the significance of the various variables and how well they correlate to each other, which we've already gone past that barrier. That once we identify any kind of correlation or non-correlation, we run a regression. So in this initial run that we did for the correlation matrix, we did notice that a lot of the numbers were below or above where we had weak relationships. In fact, when we plotted the graphs, we took time to plot the various graphs for all the variables against each other. And to be honest, it was all over the place. But then it gives an indication that we need to go further to try and make meaning of the data. Unfortunately, we were unable to go that route. So indeed, we do not have enough or sufficient data from, not sufficient data, but the data that we had did not really give us a lot of quantitative information to go ahead and use it for the strategies that the hospital needed.
But you have made a claim, so now I'm coming to my question. You have made a claim on your slide that 80%. No. But I think it's related. Can you please look for the slide? I didn't get a number. There's a slide that says that most of because the quantitative data doesn't tell us or support the problem at hand, you needed to use more qualitative data. Do you remember that slide? If you can show us. Yeah. So no. Now, my question I want to ask is also about you claiming that other consultants came to show us visualizations to the energy. I was not expecting a single visualization on your side, but you also have plenty. So what is the purpose of your visualizations then?
Okay, so
So
this is what we are trying to say. Probably it's the communication barrier. What we are saying is that we noticed that the strength. Okay.
Sorry, communication barrier.
Yes. No. I mean, probably we are not sending across the message the way.
That is better.
Yes. No, there's no animosity, honestly. So what we're trying to say is that based off of the fact that there was a weak relationship between the respective claims, right? Of which we saw mostly 0.2% use. We did not feel that going down that route was going to, expose us to a lot more information, because it's the same data that has a weak relationship that we're going to run a regression with. Therefore, what do we stand to really see in that regard? So our strategy is to really find workable solutions, not necessarily, because it's as much, the whole exercise is as much the use of data analytics as it is fomenting strategic solutions, because the whole point is that it's a strategic solution that the hospital needs, right? So what we are saying is that based off of the strength of the correlation heat map, we didn't believe that going down that route was going to yield much data. Reason why we were turning to more subjective and qualitative.
Thank you. No. Looking at our time data, we have to end.
But his explanation was okay. But it was not bad when he explained that instead of, I think because of the number, we just have to do, but you didn't need those numbers. But he explained it. So you can see that they have been partitioned into the fertility this and that, matching them on the same one.
Yeah.
Right?
So we have come to the end of round one. Please clap for everybody. We are going to collate round one results because of time, we are combining round 2 and 3. Okay, so that we can close it.
Okay, so you have to adjust your round 2 and 3 question slides because I'll tell the judges that we will only take 2 questions from the rule judge platform. So everybody asking a question. So you have to adjust the calculation too. And then you will have only 5 minutes to present. So you have heard about the so many things that's there. You have a lot of things to say. So you present 5 minutes, and then I'll give you, after you are presented, you do your question. After you finish your questions and everything, we will let one person from the group come and say a concluding statement. That's all. I hope you understand. So you are just presenting 5 minutes. Just make your 5 minutes. Because of your own time, you didn't come early, and I don't want to keep people's parents here for a very long time. Their children want them to leave them to sleep. And I know it's Christmas time, some wives are waiting for some husbands, and husbands are waiting for some wives. Okay, and some wives and husbands are here. So please, we want to try and wrap up and finish by 9:30, so, or earlier. Because of that, the judges keep your total marks to yourself. No, don't tell them the marks now, because we are going to the next one. Oh, you want to know? Yes. Let's finish. We'll tell you after the second round. Then after that, you can then have 1 minute each to come and say something that can change the judge's mind. That's all. So, at the ballot, okay. Please come and pick the ballot. Pick the paper here. Just let them pick it up.
One rep from it, please come forward. One rep.
So if you pick it, you let us know. If you are the first, you just come straight. Just like pick it. Ultimate, how you can do it? Ultimate, how do you pick? Yeah, starting. So come. Why you are comfortable? Okay. So the group had the t-shirt. You didn't give us one. The lawyer came to fight with us. You. Okay, so but if you need 5 minutes to do that, you can take the 5 minutes. But if you don't need it, then you can go ahead. Okay. Thank you very much. So after that is time to present straight to the solution, straight to the issue. Okay. Thank you very much. Judges, they are starting. So we'll stop you 5 minutes plus 2.
Good evening. I am Omarisa. Yes, but I'm here to present the proposed solution from Optic. So, with all the presentations that we have recently, we realized that the pediatric unit needs some kind of direction and a target to aid their work, because the staff, the case that we read, we realized that the staff are somehow low in terms of morale. So there is the need to re-engineer everything and help them have a target and a purpose to focus on that and ginger them. So we think that even though the pediatric unit does not have a vision and a mission, they need one, so that it can help with the culture of the department. So this is the vision and the vision we have proposed for them. So the vision is to become the leading provider of compassionate, comprehensive healthcare focused on child health. And the mission is to deliver patient-centered pediatric care through innovation and partnership. So this is what we have devised for them. Again, we realize that they have not been able to manage complaints well, and they have not handled it well. And there seems to be no record of all the specific details of the complaint. So we propose a comprehensive complaint management system. And what we are going to do in the first instance is to train all the staff of the pediatric unit in how to communicate with the staff, with the client. Because every client who comes to your business or your workshop or even the hospital to seek for a service is not just there for the service, but also for the reception you give him or her. So once you don't treat him or her well, then the person or the client won't come back. So we are going to, we propose that they launch a workshop for all the doctors and frontline staff to enhance their communication skills. So we propose that they use social media to capture real time feedback from their clients. So after every treatment, they can contact their client through WhatsApp, for example, or even Facebook Messenger, depending on the data they have from the client. So they can use that to get real-time data from their client. And based on that, they can analyze it, know where their staff fall short, and also train them to handle the complaints very well and also enhance their skills. The next thing is to, we are proposing, because of the long queues and the complaint from staff, from the client, what we are proposing is an appointment booking system, where when the challenge of the child who is coming there isn't that immediate or isn't a critical situation, they can actually contact the hospital, give us maybe the symptoms of the child or the symptoms the child is experiencing. Based on that, we can prep ourselves and also be ready for them. So before they come, at least we have a fair idea of what the child is going through, and we can help them. This will reduce the wait time and also help us prepare better and provide faster diagnosis. What we are also proposing again is that within the pediatric unit, based on the data we get from the feedback from the clients, we are going to subdivide our teams. So with the teams, if let's say the common child illness, we are going to have a team for it. If it's a respiratory challenge, we are also going to have a team for it, so that patients will get specialized care with specialized or doctors who have specialized skills in treating that situation. This will help provide improved or accurate diagnosis. So this is what we are also proposing. The next thing is that we know that CITIMED has invested in outreaches, but what we want to also add is that they should use Zoom and WhatsApp to also reach their clients, educate them on how to handle or help their. Okay, so they should use that to reach their client. Once they do that, they can also have short videos and flyers that can educate parents or mothers on how to handle certain pediatric challenges that the children will be going through. And based on this, we can also charge a small fee, because with all the issues about budgetary allocation and funds being diverted from the pediatric unit, we believe that they can also generate funds internally. So this is one thing we are also proposing. Then they should have a high-end care plan where people who can afford, we can reach them in their homes and provide specialized or tailored services for their children. And this will also help us get some funds to help the unit. Then we also propose that there should be recruitment of experienced doctors or specialists for the pediatric unit that can help it can help them work efficiently. And moreover, even though immediately they have to recruit experienced doctors, they have to also look at the long term and find ways to attract promising professionals so that they can groom them to also become loyal to the hospital. So in the long run, we believe they can also partner with some NGOs in the pediatric care sector, like any foundation and some others. This will help them and also leverage on the e-medicine for easy access, and more importantly, also rely on the data they are getting from their clients. And we believe that the slip for CityMed can be curtailed, and we can revitalize the department. Thank you.
No, you forget.
Okay, so mine is on the specialized team recommendation. Are you already doing the doctors?
Yes.
So a hospital that hasn't even got the doctor, you are not thinking about having specialized team within it. How feasible is it?
Yes, we believe it is feasible because we have already recommended that they really get experienced doctors. So once they get that, they can now have specialized teams, and we believe it is feasible.
Okay. You said we shouldn't be
If I may.
So from the data, Optimate, from the data that you analyze, the pediatric department has more nurses than any other department. Did you see that?
Yes.
Why are you recommending that we hire more nurses?
So
if you can go back to that slide. They are the only department that has more nurses. So why are you asking for more nurses? Doesn't speak to the data.
I think the focus was on experienced pediatricians and nurses, not more. Yeah, and nurses. So experience.
The specialized one, you said, and I should hire some. You said something earlier before you came. That you advised I should hire more doctors. Now, if it was just about hiring, why would I come to you? If it was just about hiring, we have come to you. That one I know that I can go to, I'm in the area. If I want to hire, I can just go ahead and hire. Maybe there's something impeding my ability to hire. No, I'm saying the client. I'm not happy as a client. So, but if it was just about hiring, I wanted to hear something else, and you're not telling me. Oh, the other person answer. Oh, okay. Maybe for commercial high. Oh, so why are you going? We are not saying like that. Oh, sorry. Okay, can you move to the booking of appointment proposed solution? And yes. How actionable is this proposed solution to the problem of this time?
Yeah, thank you for the question. I think it's really actionable because appointment booking system will make it clear on the exact time a client is supposed to be at the hospital. And then not only for the appointment booking system, but then when we enforce this system, we'll make it clear, and then we'll make it simple, clear to the worker, the employee, and also to the client. And then we'll make it simple and then easier for time tracking. And then also with the system, you can have data that you can use to check trends about how, if things aren't going well, if things are going well. This data also make it important, and then there's something that can be kept and that can be used for data-driven decisions in the future too.
This question is from above. What is the potential cost of your those solutions to the client?
This in dollars or in cedis?
In Ghana cedis.
We'll look at that. So we'll get to the conversation.
But you have the dollar value. Thank you. Innovation growth partners. Yeah, number. Medbridge should prepare.
Good evening once again. We're here to actually propose some solutions to the problems. Okay, so as you stated earlier, within our first discussion, we realized that most of the problems that were faced by the hospital were more qualitative in nature, and so we decided to actually, as a group, and improve and suggest solutions that go with these qualitative issues or these hidden issues. So we looked at proposing a solution which looks at creating a kid-centric environment within the hospital. So with this, we actually want to propose a solution where we will create an environment where we suggest some form of a placebo for various kids that come to this particular. So because we've seen that, or we've researched that the hospital within Boston, for example, show that by putting in place certain environments such as castles, creating environments such as where you calculated walls, help to improve patient satisfaction. Or we suggested that they implement regular training for pediatric staff so that we ensure that they are aligned within the orientation of the institution. Okay. We also looked at suggesting certain to implement pediatric specific to help ensure that the situation longer which have been actually proposed by some of our patients or their guidance within the focus group discussion. Because if we put in place a system where these patients or their guardians could come in and put in place like a care system which ensures that we use that no-show, where a doctor, for example, the doctors waiting for the doctor, and at the end of the day, with the doctor either is called into the an emergency schedule or something else. And that has an effect on in terms of the satisfaction that the guardians or the patients do get. We also looked at suggesting some form of public relations campaign, because as we discussed earlier within the opportunity, we realized that there's an opportunity for them to rebrand as an organization by putting in place a culture and also some form of marketing details to help improve their image and negative perception that they have. We also look at improving or putting in place certain pediatric health initiatives, which we suggested that we have some form of community engagement, engage these stakeholders to ensure that we find out what indeed is the problem. So we also would suggest that the hospital revisit the vision and mission of this hospital, which is first of all to provide comprehensive healthcare across all the departments, whether pediatric fertility or the malaria clinic, ensuring that there's some form of 360 growth or 360 sustainable growth within the hospital. We also suggested they develop a resource allocation policy because we realize that within the hospital, as earlier detailed by my colleague, who said that there are some things that are done ad hoc within the organization. And so we realize that it could be that the budgeting allocation or the resource allocation within the hospital might have been done ad hoc. And so there's a need for them to actually develop some form of arbitrary resource allocation technique to ensure that departments that actually need the resources are allocated the needed resources. So we under this thematic fair allocation, transparency, and sustainability. So we also suggest reform some of the autonomy of the pediatric center. And there's certain thematic areas such as centralized budget control, operational flexibility, and streamlined procurement process. And then lastly, for building this sustainable future we all want to have, which is one, stable engagement with all forms of, with all the real stakeholders involved in this discussion. We also look to implement strategies and then monitor and evaluate and assess how these strategies are impacting on the hospital needs. And then look at to achieving this sustainable growth, where we look at one. Let's go for that.
I think I enjoyed what you did, but I don't. I see that as more generic solution that you give. Thank you.
Okay, so what is the decentralized budget? So we realize that within a hospital, things were done in terms of ad hoc, in terms of where there are some form of internal politics. So there is a need that the budget that is there where everybody is from that particular pool. There's a need to form some form of decentralization where one, let's say every particular team or every particular department that we are looking at,
They are within 3 departments. So you are calling for a decentralized budget. What is it?
So a decentralized budget, which is actually bereft of one.
Charles, Charlie, influence.
Yes, so usually in the healthcare system, when we speak about decentralized budget, which I think is also another industry. But for this particular hospital, what we are looking at is having some kind of control of the various departments for their budget. So, for instance, the budget still lies with the finance head of the hospital, whoever runs the finance department. But for each of the units, each of the departmental head, that was what we're suggesting, that the malaria control has a head who will be responsible for ensuring that the management of the budget.
What's the current system? What's the current budget system they're using?
So the current budget system is centralized.
Centralized.
So it is from the finance part, in the allocate the resources as and when they need.
That is what is done everywhere. There's budget hearing.
Yes.
The department head will go, you will submit your estimates. The center will have to prepare what you call the master budget. But before this consolidated, you are giving hearing for you to go and defend your estimates. And there will be reasons why there will be slack.
Yes, but what you, again, in one of these slides, you mentioned about.
You see, somebody is paying you implement workable solutions.
Yes.
If you just put that there, you are commenting the decentralized budget. It should be targeted as a certain thing, which I'm not getting. What's the problem with the current budget system they have?
So the current budget system, according to the data, or according to the conversations we had with the clients, was that the various units did not have oversight of how they were doing the expenditure. Expenditures were still have to go through them, and for petty things like instruments for the fertility center to get diagnostic kits for the malaria, for the pediatrics department to do some small purchases, still had to go to the centralized. So like some kind of IGF money that they can use for the meantime. While for big purchases, of course, they'll have to go to the big finance department.
The decentralized budget system. What are that? In the sense that what you are just asking for is something like an impress system where some monies are given to the department to spend on certified.
Oh, that's not part of the budget. Oh, it's a small mini budget. Okay, mini decentralized budget.
Let's go forward. We have to come back. I'll have to explain our better because I realize that there are people in this program and apply it. We have seen that where you want to let you where
So I am interested in knowing where in the data process and a briefing shared with you that the need was found to improve the statistics of the
Okay, so in the data, there wasn't a specific request for that. But what we are here to do as strategists or consultants is to also unearth the hidden insights. And we realize that if the quality of time is essential. I mean, time could, there's a great way in which time is improved by visibility or by things that really engage people. For example, when you order an Uber, right? The fact that you know that your ride is on its way, right, and coming within 5 minutes has a way of easing you down. Prior to that, if you ordered a ride and you couldn't see where the ride was coming from, obviously there's no way you'll be agitated, you will not be comfortable. So we're saying that if the hospital has improved visuals, you realize that people, instead of counting, they will be more engrossed in other things that will engage them. So that's the solution.
No reaction.
Medbridge, please come. ABC, kindly prepare. This is. Medbridge.
Good evening once again. We are here to present on the strategies for. So we categorize ours into immediate, that's the short term, medium, and then the long term, focusing on SWOT analysis, balance scorecard, and then the strategic alliance. So with the
balance scorecard, there are four matrices. We have the financial perspective, customer perspective, internal, and then the learning and growth. So the strategies that we highlighted as a team or the consultants is that we measure the budget allocation increase for pediatric departments, and then we track the revenue changes from increased pediatric services realization. And then we have the customer perspective. You know, customers are key to a business, and so with that aspect in mind, we need to really focus on, because at the end of the day, they bring the revenue to the business. So we monitor patient satisfaction score and the number of complaints monthly, and then reduce wait time for consultation to improve caregiver experience. And then the internal process perspective, we measure staff to patients ratio and then workflow efficiency in the pediatric care. And then monitor resolution rates for the patient complaints. And then with the learning and the growth perspective, we highlighted that we track participation in staff training program and then communication empathy. And then we monitor staff satisfaction level to reduce burnout. Because we realized that because of the shortage of staff, for instance, one as like a service alone can be handled by, like majority of the service can be handled by just a few how do you call it, behind. So it leads to burnout, and then monitor the staff satisfaction level to reduce burnout. And then we go to the strategic alliance. That's an agreement between two or more businesses to achieve a particular goal. So with that one, from the perspective of NGOs and then government programs, collaborate with public health initiatives and child health NGOs like Mother Africa, and then child care organization, maternal and child health program, as well as Pediatric Society of Ghana to secure funding for the pediatric equipment, staff training, and community outreach program, such as free pediatric healthcare screening. And then engage private sector support, collaborate with academic institutions, such as the Ghana Physician and Surgeon, to establish residency or internship for medical students, and then community partnership. So we go straight to our recommendations. Which one? The recommendation. So with the recommendations, these are the recommendations. Increase budget allocation to pediatric department to ensure adequate staffing, and they recruit more pediatricians and medical doctors to improve quality care, and then have a child-friendly interior design, interactive play area, and kid-centered exams room would create a positive impression on the patient, and then develop a new package plan for kids. Proposed name, My Child, My Way. You know, children are fan of these things, and so by so doing, they get that attachment, and then the purpose is to make or create that environment for them to have that, yeah.
I'm not confused. What you have done well, which I think this is where we are able to blend theory with practice, is the use of a framework for your solution proposition or proposal. What I saw is the balance scorecard. Can you quickly move to that slide 3/4? Okay. Oh, you are going to. Okay, good. So just confirm with me. Prof is not here. Everybody is not here. Assume that you are with me. Which GPT did you use to generate this KPIs? Just confirm. Copilot, ChatGPT, Google's one is Gemini. You did not use any AI on record. So I should go further. All right. So, balanced scorecard has 4 key 360 holistic solutions to address any problem an organization is facing. Okay. From what you have enumerated there, if you are using the balanced scorecard to address problems you identified in your analysis. From what is presented here, it stands to reason that it's like some human being is sitting somewhere using the balanced scorecard to propose a solution to us, and another person did analysis from data and gave to us. That is what I can deduce from your solution using the balanced scorecard. Do you agree? Is it yes? Yes. Being candid is part of the scores we give you. So we agree. You don't agree? Okay. So who is the customer perspective? Okay, so take one of the 4 elements in the balance scorecard and tell us the problem, link it to the problem, and then the solution. Without looking at the slide.
Speaking on the financial perspective, and so as part of our metrics, we are telling the hospital that they should measure budget allocation based on the needs of the particular unit in which they are looking at.
Customer.
No, I'm talking of the financial perspective.
No, I said pick one of the 4 elements in the balance scorecard. Customers. Who is the patient? So just one.
So from the customer perspective, okay. And so we are monitoring patient satisfaction scores and number of complaints monthly. So this, we get complaints from the customers. We have a complaint management system where customers are able to address certain challenges they face. And so we'll have weekly meetings with our in-charges where these challenges are addressed. And so we'll have quarterly meetings as well. So when you follow these metrics, you get to know that, okay, the customer is satisfied with our service or they are not satisfied with the service.
Just a quick one. The recommendation, because the person is going to pay you more, and I want to be sure that these are not superficial. Quickly, the first 3. That it should increase budget allocation. Is it?
Yes.
Then recruit more pediatricians. You think if he has the money, we invite you? So somebody will consult you, and all that you come and tell the person is that your problem, just spend more. Where is this one coming from?
Because they can't do everything on their own, even as human resource. We advise that they consult other NGOs.
No, man, just the first 2 points. It all has to do with money. And it's like you people are just talking without looking at constraints. If the person had all the cash, he will just call you, pay you, just want to come and tell him the program is that increase budget allocation.
Okay, so first and foremost, they didn't say anything about not having the resources to do.
It is in their financial. If you check their financial performance over the years, you will see whether they have the wherewithal to be implement what you are talking about.
Okay, so based on the information we received from the hospital, realize that they do have the money, but they are channeling it to other units that are making profits. And so we are telling them, do not focus on fertility. They are growing. So we want a balance because as part of the company's or the hospital's mission, they want a comprehensive family care where they can provide holistic service to customers. So when a patient comes, they don't need to just visit the facility care. They also have to go to the pediatrics.
We don't have time.
Exactly.
That's why I live in without fertility, we have children.
No, so they shouldn't just focus on
No,
that.
I'm saying because we don't have time. That's why I live in. when I have the opportunity to give my comments, without the fertility department, what would the case be to come to?
So without the physics department to use because you give birth to the children and then they are not being cared for.
You have to come back and come and say something. It's okay, can go.
ABC. And then same. Please prepare. ABC. ABC also.
Hey, Charlie, that's what you for.
Good evening once again. We are here to present our strategy and key recommendations. And for this, we use the SOSTAC model. So the SOSTAC model assesses the situation. That's where we are, and then looks at the objective where we want to get to, and then we look at the strategy, what tactics, how do we want to get to where we want to get to. Then we look at our action plan, and then the controls to ensure that we are doing what we really want to do. So with where we are, we know doctors' inadequate resources, the staffing challenges, the low staff morale, and the I'm not seeing the slide fully. The low staff morale and the burnout, and then the patients have also complained about the long wait time, their dissatisfaction with the service, and then the poor complaint management system. And then where we are, we know that administrators have given us feedback on investments in medical and research. They need to improve recovery rates across units and long-term sustainability focus. So with a strategy to resolve all the problems that we're talking about, we are looking at increasing the patient's satisfaction, because with the hospital, the service that we are rendering, the final beneficiary is the patients. If they are not satisfied, then our work is not fully achieved. So we are looking at increasing patient satisfaction, and then also working to reduce the waiting time in the pediatric unit where we've had this complaints, increase the number of patients within the year, because with the problem that we have, they've mentioned that though there's stress, lack of morale, and various complaints, the patient number is really low, and that's what goes to the bottom line of the hospital. And then look at the pediatric specialists that we have. How can we make the best out of them? How can we boost their morale? How can we give them more equipment to work with for them to be able to deliver more for better results? So with the increments, we want our patients to be satisfied. And we are looking at in the next 6 months, increasing our satisfaction levels to at least 80%, and reducing the wait time from the 55 to 30 minutes within the next 3 months. Once we are reducing the wait time, which clients have complained about, one is an indicator that we have taken their complaints in good faith, we have taken steps about it, and
we are trying to change things, regardless of whether we think 55 is not too long. And then, as I said earlier, with the specialists that we have, they complain that they don't have a lot of hands to help them, and that is causing burnout. That is causing the burnout. So how can we give them the support that they need so they can deliver quality service? But currently, the patients feel that we are not empathetic. We don't put ourselves in their shoes, the way we communicate with them, the way we deliver the service, which is a problem. So those are some of the things that we want to improve. My colleague will continue to give further details about the strategy.
So I'd like to begin by talking about the abstract set of goals through which we seek to achieve the objectives my colleagues just delineated. So we would like to reduce the waiting time, enhance operational efficiency, strengthen marketing awareness, focus more on patient care, and then strengthen and simplify communication. And how we seek to do that, actually, our game plan for doing that is to hire more pediatricians, to reduce the stress on the local doctors, to introduce more pediatric equipment. Introduce more pediatric equipment, introduce a digital appointment system to streamline check-ins. Digital appointment system to streamline check-ins, train our staff to communicate more empathetically and clearly. And we've also set up a dedicated communication team to respond to complaints in real time, 24/7, respond to them and deal with them as and when they come. We'd also invest heavily into marketing efforts, specifically community outreach programs, where the people know what we are offering and how we seek to change their lives through that approach. And then we'll be measuring our success through the balanced scorecard approach. So I'll try not to be too pedantic and I'll talk just about the internal processes. So some of our key objectives is to reduce the average waiting time and then to enhance the adoption of the appointment system. We would like to reduce the waiting time to 30 minutes in 3 months and then to make sure 90% of the patients are managed via the appointment system. So to our expected outcomes, we would like to, so for our expected outcomes, we would like to keep being recognized as a leader in patient-focused care. And we would also like to bring a very, I would not say a semblance, but a strong measure of balance back to the hospital. And we would also like to revitalize the pediatrics department to improve efficiency. Thank you.
Yeah, your proposed solution, how much is it going to cost the hospital?
Whilst with you, add mine to it. You can still maintain the same budget while reallocating resources. Your question was? No. He asked how much it was going to cost you to implement your solution.
To be within the same budget, and also the profits, we first and foremost said that there is profitability from the fertility and the malaria department, so it can support that of the pediatric department.
Okay. So, what exactly will you do to reduce the waiting time to 30 minutes? What is the recommendation?
Thank you. In our slides, we stated that we are going to set up digital appointment system.
So with the digital appointment, our patients can book ahead of time so that we don't have unnecessary clashes in the hospital. And then also once we are improving efficiency and how fast we can deliver our service to the patients, it will also go in a way to have a positive effect on the waiting time.
Since
Maybe you.
Hi, good evening once again. Before I comment, I want to give a quote from Douglas. And that quote that says that we are stuck with technology when what we want is ministers that work. We are stuck with technology when what we want is ministers that work. I want you to create a reference and then take QR code that will display the screen here for me. Whilst my colleague is doing that, let me kindly go to our proposed solutions. First of all, we propose that we're going to have a database system and an appointment system. One key thing we realized was that the hospital, when we went there on site, we realized that they were doing this manual filing. And so having to retrieve records to know the history of the patient was challenging. So we realized that there's going to be a database management system that once you come, the key thing is be able to realize that, oh, you've been here, you have your medical history for so X, Y, Z. So that is going to help. Again, we're going to have staff training in development. The solutions, the technology we are proposing to them, we're going to train the staff as well how to utilize them. There is a difference between having the system and implementing the system or using the system to actually identify or solve your solutions. Again, we're going to look at the shift system. Now, once we have this system that is going to help with the appointment, is going to help the number of staff coming into the facility at a particular time, we're able to utilize the in-house resources. So we know that if X number of people are coming for the pediatric department, they will shift health staff to that department so that they are able to work and then produce productivity is ensured. Again, what we also realized was about the staff overload. Because of the few numbers, they were overworking, and so once there is a shifting in there, they are able to relocate resources or staff able to enhance productivity. Again, we look at staff engagement and then complaint resolution. Another thing we realized was that when challenges or when complaints were made, the responses were poor. And so we have a system that is going to track the complaints that have come in real time, the timeline that they were resolved, the feedback that they were giving, and so the organization will have to community engagement. So there's going to be community engagement, having to have a symposium, having to have public awareness, public education to the public to educate them on specific chronic diseases that is happening, specific illnesses that is around the system. There's going to be targeted communication, audits to ensure that all the processes and policies that we have put in place are being adhered to. We're going to set KPIs to ensure that whatever policies that we suggested to the organization, the hospital, has adhered to. Let's move on to the system. Yes, so we have a system. Yes, we have a system we suggest to them. So when you click on book appointment, kindly click on book appointment. Yeah. So scroll down. So there's appointment. You choose whatever department you are going to. You click on it. Choose on any of them. So you choose the branches you want to go. You click on the branch. You choose whatever doctor you want to see. You click on the doctor. You want to go there. Your time. The time you want to visit and all that. Again, there's a ticketing system as well when you want to lodge complaint. You go there, you do that, you lodge your complaint. And so all these systems you are putting in place. Go down, come down. Yeah, you make a complaint, you go there, you log it. So you have to log it so that you'll be able to track your response, you'll be able to track the feedback that comes and look at the timelines that complaint will resolve. Yes, we did it. Part of our project. So there's actually a database to it. Request we could give it to us. Yeah, basically, thank you.
The solutions from all the teams are very similar. You don't specifically speak to the data that they're supposed to analyze. They are quite generic. Unfortunately, that you have to get it. So, you talk about all of you have recommended the appointment system as a way of managing the I don't see anywhere in the briefing in the data that the hospital does not have one. That is the first problems that are very clear. Have you asked yourself, and this goes to all of you, whether the hospital already has an appointment? Because for your information, the biggest healthcare challenge in the UK today, you all know that already. You know the biggest healthcare challenge. We have the national health scheme. If you want to see a doctor, it will take you 6 months, 7 months, because you can't get out of your home and go to a hospital and you need to book an appointment. So the appointment system that we are all relying on as a panacea to this problem is the biggest cause of disaffection among UK citizens when they find healthcare. Because guess what? If you have the appointment system and people are booking and they have to wait 7 weeks, 8 weeks before they can see the doctor, it comes back to the same point. Still waiting time. This one is even worse. Because if I go to the hospital, on the average, it will take me maybe 58 minutes, I can see the doctor. But if you put in a system, and the system will limit my access to even getting into the hospital in the first place, when you take me weeks to see the doctor. It's like looking for a US visa. How many years does it take you? But they use an appointment system. The point I'm driving is that having an appointment system or implementing system do not necessarily wage problems out. But well done on picking up the systems that you have. But I just want to make the point that first you need to have established that the hospital doesn't have one. Because otherwise you will be duplicated. And that's not right.
I think among the groups, you are the only one who try to show us something very tangible. In that regard, you actually done well on that aspect. I was wishing I could see something like telehealth, because since we are all talking about waiting time, people, long queues, they go there, you could think around that area and see how could we use telehealth to reduce the waiting time at the hospital, especially for chronic patients. Right? So maybe the next time I come around, I may want to see something like that in your presentation. Right. Thank you.
With the booking, you could choose online or offline, where you virtually interact with the doctor with the video APIs to have it.
How secure is that?
So I like to look at it and make sure that it's good for them.
All that.
Okay. So then let me have my last minute. So you have to, among all the solutions you have described, one, not to all come as a person. In terms of priority, which one would you recommend that your clients take immediate step? But you want them, which one will be your top list? No, I'm talking about the recommendations you gave. Which of them is your topmost priority to your client? And why?
Okay, so for mostly we're going for the customer service interactions. So customer service is what we're actually going for. And the reason why I'm saying customer service is,
Customer service of, was it one of the recommendations?
no, so customer service management. So we have a database system that manages customer complaints and customer issues. So the customer service, based on what comes in and what goes out to the customer.
That is reactionary. The react is from the word react. You are waiting for the event to happen. Thank you.
Thank you very much. It's been a very exciting time. The time is gone. So, every group, let one person stand up for your last statement to us. You can say it from wherever you are. Okay. Okay, let one person stand up. So, Michael, you said you guys should come here. This is one from all of you. They're calculating. So as they're calculating, say one thing to convince them of why you should do. So 1 minute. If you don't come, you don't worry. So why is your solution? But why should they work with you?
Okay, so CityMed should work with us because number one, we're going to help them rediscover why they're in business. They're in business for the patient. You're also in business to make sure that they're making money. And number two, the reason why they should work with us is that we're going to make sure that whatever strategies that we implement are going to be very efficient and productive. So it's going to be good value for money, and we are ready with a framework to share with them anytime with the stakeholders meet. Thank you.
Okay. So for service, the reason why you should come to some reasons why you should come to service are quite a lot. As you can see during our presentation, we don't only do quantitative, we combine both quantitative and quantitative, which you can actually see or project what is actually going to happen to your business. And that's the first one. And the second one is we don't only do theoretical, we actually give visualization to understand whatever the kind of situation is currently happening on the ground. When it comes to technological know-how, as you saw, we are very skilled, the team is very skilled. When it comes to automation and advanced skills, we are able to develop to suit everybody. Our cost is very efficient, based on where you are coming from, based on the budget you have. We are able to design systems or even use the current system that you have to leverage an automation systems for you. So our services are very, our fees are very user friendly, which is more.
Thank you.
I think the hospital should take data driven. The hospital should take our data driven decisions because there's no lack of anecdotal evidence that shows that businesses failed as a result of shifting focus. You have BlackBerry, you have RadioShack, you have Nokia, you have Sys. Yahoo, for example, was one of the leading search engines in the world and shifted its focus from that to acquisitions. That brought in no value. I guess what I'm trying to say in not so many words is that
being known for pediatrics, despite not being a pediatric hospital, is a niche advantage or a differentiator, if you will. And it's something that can bring more benefits in the near future. Thank you.
So we are MedBridge Consult, and our tagline is transforming healthcare institutions through data-driven solutions. So at MedBridge, we have subject matter experts who actually are still specialized in healthcare systems that would go to the hospitals, understand your systems, operational processes, and give you data-driven solutions, and also recommend you on how to ensure quality of data. So you know they're saying garbage in, garbage out. And so once you ensure that your data is quality, we'll be able to provide you with actionable insights that will transform the healthcare institution.
Okay, the only CEO is Swag.
All right, thank you. We at Optimed do believe that healthcare is not just about services. It comes along with responsibility. And at Optimed, we want to do this through creative and then cooperative methods. With this said, we would work hand in hand to make sure whatever solutions that we have proposed, we see it to the latter. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very, very much. So while the judges are calculating, we will just quickly pick up our certificates. By the time we finish, we have finished. So without much ado, not any particular standing wherever it's Innocent Akbar. Okay, please give. Can you come and go back? Innocent Akbar and the Prophet come here, so one of them will just. So you be on my side and then Prophet will be here. So yes, please be coming for them. Francis Afrojan. Charles Jimabwati. Okay, he's still pharmacy. See where my hand is going when I mention your name. Please, I'll tell you someone. Okay, please, I'll tell someone. Tojo Denchi. Denchira Ejeku. Oh, please mention that when you mention them and you are here, let us know so that we don't wait for you. Okay, Elizabeth Afanoa, absent. Samuel Baggio, Baggio. Okay, Gloria Etibia. Okay, Gladys, no. Teddy Kube. Michael Nku. Michael and Teddy, go to my right. Priscilla, what is that? Priscilla Daffy. Oh, okay. Michael. Ni na ku AJ Biniaku. Okay. Pejo Nyako. Yakujo Yakusi. Kapo you did very well. Marilyn Nico. Okay, Marilyn to do now Botele Sylvester. Oh, now. Hawa Musa. Elsa. Okay. Oh, please let the class go. Ruth Mensa. Elsa to my right, Ruth to my left. Suleiman. To my Suleiman. Clap for Suleiman. Raymond Tete. Raymond Tete. Anna is Isimu Ayako. James Scotty or James. Sapphire Wusu, no here. When operation, I'm the blue. As member of our Daniel Taylor, Bertha Posua, Bertha on my left, Roland Walker, Mason, Roland Walker, Mason, Michael Edward, Gloria Odampton, Michael to my right, and Gloria to my left, James Patton. James Patton, okay. James, Anel Kekeli. Anel. Okay. I want to hear you. Yeah. So I'll be teaching you and giving you respect as. Charlie. I know what you mean. Okay, sister to my right. Eugene Owusu to my left. Eugene. Okay. Eric Nkesa. Africa Owusu. Daniel Taylor. Eric Nkesa. Selassie Dobi. Selassie. Sonia. Okay. Benedict. Francesca, not here. Okay. Benedict to my left. Francesca to my right. Okay. Let's take a picture.
Okay.
Are you ready? Rosemary. Rosemary. Mohammed. Sandra. Banfu. Finished. Sandra Banfu. Oh, okay. Okay, thank you very much. So we have now gotten to the everyday evaluations. Okay, you have done the calculations. Wow. Okay. Yeah, give me a feedback. The one is finished. I'll give you.
One lecture, we get it now.
Last. He's gone. He's left. Okay, so we are waiting for the final results so that we can. Whilst we are waiting for the final results, I think we can cut the cake so that we don't you can set the cupcakes to the timer. So please, can you help us with one table from here? Hang on, now, do you have your a cake cutting knife? Oh, please help. We have to finish up. Thank you very much. Thank you very, very much. So, group leaders, come around. The thing is yours. Francisca, those are okay. Then look at the tip like that. They were fast, so I don't know what you do. You can get myself my ticket. But you may take an extra can. Nobody has to come. Okay, then. So, group base, those who want to stand by them, don't stand by them. It's yours. Yeah, other members of other groups can come and join them. Actually, it's true. Get a contract. I'm a reading the other one. I'm a right here. I think it's a secret. After you. Okay, okay, that's okay. It's okay. But if you get half, pick the half, pick another one for you.
This is what here.
So judges, those who are not Catholic, you can join them.
Next year, October, it renew contract.
Can you tell us what you need to put up there?
Yeah, fine. I really had it.
Take me downstairs.
Next year. Do not make your
Since we don't have a Bible.
There will be a lot of tension in the university. It is obvious. It's obvious that she's trying to get in the appointment before the new government. There will be a lot of tension here.
Hello. So, by the powers vested in us by, I don't know where to
go to the Supreme Court.
But the point that Professor Boateng has vested in us as judges and returning officers, we want to announce the result. We'll start from the third group. The third group scored 1,136 points. Please clap for them. The second group scored 1,150 points. 1,150. And the first group scored 1,291 points. So the third 1,136 is Medbridge. Medbridge group, please come forward for your medal. Medbridge group gets, yes, come one after the other. They get, each member gets a bronze medal.
So that was one kind
Cedric, please come forward for the group picture. Your phobia. Guys, please.
Thank you, Frederick. Well done. The second group for silver and do you have a count? That goes to Optimate Consult. Optimate Consult. 9,150 points.
Hello, please be there. Please.
Lagi na pinto ni ke propa ko gbe genu ni je fi ni. Ikele sina.
Finally. So finally, at the end of the strategy for business analytics challenge camp, S4BA 2024, the winners of the gold medal and the super cup with a total score of 1,291 goes to Strategic Intelligence Management Solutions.
Please. Those who are taking the council, they are operating the council. Okay, so thank you very much. So the target. Okay, thank you very much. In fact, you are looking very good in the background. Okay.
Hello, please, is there anyone towards Ugwa? Anyone towards Ugwa?
Thank you.